Hey, Weirdo family, we are back for another week. This is my extremely annoying yet exceedingly cute assistant, Chewy, as in Chewbacca, not Jesus. His name is Chewbacca, but we call him Chewy. He is here because he is part of my support system, and we are going to be talking about a support system. I got a question about being successful with meeting goals, and it came down to the support system. Now, I know I said I was going to give you the recipe for making a goal, but we're not quite there. So, I'm going to talk about your support system and my extremely cute assistant, Chewbacca. Now, you may notice that my support system already abandoned me. Chewy is a chihuahua, which means that he had to go bark at his shadow, the wind, a piece of dust floating across the heavens. I don't know. So my support system pieced out, but that's okay because we have a lot more to talk about. Now let's talk about this support system. Anything in life, if you have a support system, it helps you be way more successful than if you try to go it alone. Let's think about it this way. Even Michael Jordan, who is like the GOAT, had a coach, which is just support system. Think about anybody in life, in the world, and a lot of those people have a support system. It could be a mentor, it could be friends, family. Now, there needs to be two types of people in your support system: the people who are like the constant cheerleaders who cheer you on, give you like major accolades for doing small things or big things. And then we need the people who keep it real. That is why I'm here. I am your keeping it real coach. So if I'm on your support system, I keeps it real for you. Anyway, you have to have people who will cheer you on. When you have an idea for something, they talk about why it's a good idea, why you should pursue it. And if you have fears or doubts, they reassure you to let you know that you can, in fact, do it, that you have all the tools in your toolbox to get it done. But then you also need the realists, the people to say, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, but let's think of all the pros and cons before we like jump head first into something. And this brings me to story time. Now, this is back circa 2002, 2003. I was still living in Fresno, California. I was still attending Fresno State University, and I lived upstairs in an apartment unit. Each apartment was in a 4 unit block. So I lived in the top corner. Next to me was this family with a very cute little boy. Be under me was our pal Zucci, who pieced out after Miss Viola gave him a talking to. And then next to Zucci was Cockroach. Now, directly across from Cockroach was Miss Viola. So these people have been talked about in previous videos. So Miss Viola hated Mr. Cockroach. Mr. Cockroach was indifferent towards Miss Viola, which meant that it was amazing interactions whenever they crossed paths. Well, I had walked downstairs to check my mail, and right in front of the mailbox was Miss Viola casually reading some junk mail. I walked downstairs, opened my mailbox, and out of my peripheral vision, I see Mr. Cockroach wearing something I would consider atrocious, but hey, he likes it. I love it. Not mad at him. And I say, hey, Mr. Cockroach, you sure are looking sharp today. You heading someplace special? Because he was usually wearing a t shirt with the sleeves cut out with stains and rips, some basketball shorts that were like 10 times too big and the nastiest house shoes you had ever seen. His toes would kind of hang over the house shoes, nails so long I swore I could hear him hitting the concrete as he walked, and he had a corn on every toe, let alone some ashy heels that he could have hit with some lotion. Like, heck, he could have hit him with some Crisco, truth be told. Anyway, he looked a little nicer than his normal appearance. So I comment, and again I said, "Hey, Mr. Cockroach, you sure looking sharp today." And he said, "Girl, my check just came in, and Papa's gonna go out and meet the honeys. Papa's gonna give the honeys some Hundos in exchange for some sugar." And I was like, "Oh, how nice, Mr. Cockroach. Well, good luck on meeting the honeys, and I'm so happy that you've got the Hundos for the light bill." And then as he passed me, the smell of cheap cologne smacked me across the face. I mean, this smell was so pungent. I I kid you not, it could peel the paint off of anything. Miss Viola, her little lip curled up, and you knew when Miss Viola's lip curled up, it was on and cracking. And then Cockroach passes by, and I say, "Oh, that's interesting cologne you have on." And he says, "Girl, I got to smell nice, because you know you can catch bees with the scent of honey." And he walks off without missing a beat. Miss Viola leans over to me and she says, "He's only catching flies with how he smells." And this brings me to the two types of people that you need on your support system: the eternal optimist and the person who keeps it real, who says, "Hey, wait, hold up. Let's think about this a little further before we make any more steps or decisions." So, in that instance, I was being the eternal optimist, even though I could see like major cracks in the approach. I thought, let's approach it from a loving aspect, from a positive aspect, and then let's figure out if we can make some changes. So, Mr. Cockroach was using his Social Security check to go essentially buy women. Do we already see the problem with this? His appearance was, as I call it, hobo chic, not boho chic, hobo chic. But he did try to make an effort. Miss Viola was saying, "Wait a second. You look terrible. You smell terrible. This is a bad idea. Let's regroup and get a better plan." So the two people really need to exist together in this support system. You've got the person who cheers you on, and when you have an idea, they're going to present and pick out all the positive aspects of that particular idea. And then you got the keeping it real people who say, "Okay, I see your idea. Let's talk about it and let's make this idea really great." Because if you approach it how you're approaching it, you're not going to be successful. If you don't have these two people, if you only have optimists, you're going to say, "I think I'm going to burn my house down." And they're going to be like, "Yeah, good idea. Let's do it." If you only have keeping it real people, you're going to say, "I'm going to burn my house down." Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. And they're going to be like, "Oh my gosh, you're dumb." But nobody's ever going to ask, "Well, why do you want to burn your house down? What do you consider burning your house down? Is that a metaphor? Or are you literally going to be burning the house down?" Now, if you have those two types of people in your support group, all of the important questions are going to be answered and you will still be supported. You also need some ride or die people in your support group. The ride or dies, a lot of times, especially in my life, the ride or dies are not the people who have maybe the best ideas. They're not the place they need to be in life. But if you need them, they are there without a question. I got some friends, we're just gonna call them Pookie and Ray Ray. You know who Pookie and Ray Ray are. For me, Pookie and Ray Ray are the people that I can call and say, I'm in some unknown highway, in some unknown place. There's a whole group of zombies coming. Come get me. And they'll be like, we on our way. No questions asked. Except I am going to have to pay Pookie and Ray Ray and two-piece in the biscuit and $10 because they say they'll do anything for a two-piece in the biscuit and $10. I ask no questions. Thank you, Pookie and Ray Ray. Thank you. Now, if you don't have a Pookie and Ray Ray in your life, you got a Pooh Bear and Taz. You got Uncle Robert and Auntie Mildred. You have your own Pookie and Ray Ray in your life. Don't kid yourself because they're your ride or die. They may not be the best examples of pillars of society. They may not be the most educated people, or maybe they are, but they're true friends, and you probably had them in your life for years. You need them, they're there. They need you, you are there. True friendship. This could also be family members where if they're not at the cookout, cookout's not the same. That's Pookie and Ray Ray. They can also be in your support system. But you also do need the voice of reason. You also do need somebody to cheer you on and be your cheerleader. When you have this group of people in your life, you become unstoppable. You've got true friendship, people who are willing to challenge you on some of your ideas and goals, just so that these ideas and goals end up being better, well thought out, fleshed out. You've got the people who are giving you accolades and cheering you on and being very positive. Because if you only have a group of negative people, then you're not going to get very far because successful people are always around other successful people. Successful people are always around people who are positive. Successful people are around people who are deep thinkers who really work out all the logistics of that goal. If you want to get ahead in life, you must have goals and you must have people behind you to help you push you forward so that you can meet these goals. Now, when I was in my 20s, I was definitely the optimist because I did not feel secure enough to really keep it real. Now that I'm in my 40s and I have some experience behind my belt, I'm I really can think about all of the ins and outs when somebody makes a goal to present them with, hey, have you thought about this? Well, what about that? Can we trim this off? That's a terrible goal. It's a because of how you're doing it. Let's change it so that's a better goal and getting the same tasks done. That's what Miss Viola was saying to Cockroach, even though she said it to me, but that's what she really meant is that this is a terrible idea. Let's just rework it so it's better. So think of a goal in your life that you would like. This goal should be so big that it sounds crazy, delusional, like a dream. Now this is important because next week we are 100% going to talk about the goal recipe. You need to write this down. I call this the dream. It's so huge that it may seem impossible, delusional, no way you can meet it. This part is important. It needs to be this huge, this crazy. Dream big. Write this down. Next week, we're going to take this huge dream that you have written down and we are going to expand it to an actual goal that you can easily meet. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you want to ride on a rocket ship to the moon. I don't care if you want to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, swim across the entire Pacific Ocean, and find a mermaid. I don't care what it is. Pick a huge dream, and then we are going to work on this dream together to make an actual attainable goal that you can meet. I don't want to say 100% of the time, but you know how I do 100% of the time. Anyway, this is your Keeping It Real coach. It was real. Until next week.